welcome back to my channel. So around this time is usually when I know medical school applications are about to open. Around this time, I think colleges, this is coming up around the time when you have to make that final decision about where you're gonna go. And I think it might be the same for professional schools. So I just wanted to give you guys a few tips on things that you should actually think about and consider when thinking about when you're gonna pick a school to go to. So let us jump in. But before that, please continue to show love by subscribing, liking, commenting, and following my Instagram at dailydoseof.melanin. All right, let's jump in. So, just like you, when you go on an interview and when you're submitting your application, you are portraying the best parts of yourself.
I want to be America's Next Top Model because I have everything that it takes to be that.
I know even for me, we were taught that when places ask you what's your greatest weakness, you use something that you can turn into a positive. So nothing that's actually a weakness.
That's really nice.
Never show weakness.
And it is what it is. That's the game. Like, you want to get into a school, you want to represent your best self. And that's the same thing when it comes to a school, a job, or anything. If they want you, if they want applicants, they want people to apply to their program, they're going to present their best selves. Like, and who could fault them for that? Like, it is what it is. But to help you figure out where you should actually go, here's some things that I have learned in being in med school for 2 years at this point. The things that really matter that I was not even considering, thinking about, crossing my brain atmosphere throughout the interview application process. So one of the big things, not the one of the big things, the biggest thing, if you take nothing else away from this video, is the life of the student. Everything else, low-key doesn't matter. Like, low-key doesn't matter, because the school can say anything, but if the life of their, I don't mean one student, I don't mean like one disgruntled student, and I don't mean one extra chirpy person who's on a panel that you went to. Like, no, I mean, if you talk to a few people and like the consensus is positive, then that makes you think, okay, this school is doing something well. Even if they don't have the best of best resources, that if the students are happy, that's a really good indicator. Whereas other schools, they may have the most top-notch resources, the best facilities, the list goes on, like it's a whole pamphlet. But if the students are not happy, then that should show you that there is a problem there. So when you are investigating basically the life of the students, you are thinking about all the things that you tend to think are important when you're picking a school. So you're thinking about the resources that they have, the facilities that they have. But in reality, many times you will go on tours and they will talk about these state-of-the-art things. And in reality, when you get into the program, you barely use it. Like, you barely go there. You barely use the instruments or whatever. So it's there, but are you using it? Is it beneficial to you? No. And then you wouldn't know that until later. So when you would actually know this, when you talk to a student and you'll ask them like, oh, I heard that you have this thingamabobbit. Like, do you guys use it? How frequent do you use it? How helpful is it to you to passing and being successful in school? And they'll let you know. The other thing to think about is the finances. I know this is probably what you guys thought I was going to say, number one, but it's more like number two for me. As I said, life of the students is number one. Why I say finances is second is because, once again, the life of the students will tell you how the finances go. Because if they have good financial aid and their office is on top of it and they're helpful and they're this and that, you will know, because the students will tell you that. Especially if you go in with these questions like, how was your experience been with financial aid, the loan office, the whatever offices, then you will know. The only caveat here is that I would say is, if a place is offering you the most money, then I would say, consider going there, because if you don't have to be in debt, why do it? But at the same time, know that
nothing is free.
I'm doing a dramatic pause so I get the effect. Nothing is free. You have to pay for everything. So sometimes you're not paying with money, but you're paying with peace of mind, which is why I still say talk to the students. Because even if you get like a scholarship to the school and it's great, and you're like, you know what, nothing can stop me and stress me because I got this paid for, I don't have debt. But the students are like going crazy, crying, having mental breakdowns every day. Like, yes, you don't have debt, but do you have your peace of mind? Do you have your sanity? And that is really important. And I think one of the last things I'll say that I think that you should think about is the study spaces available, or the things that the study spaces available and the resources that the school has. So whether that's like mental health counseling, how is the library set up? Do a lot of students use the library to study? If so, what does the library look like? Is it noisy? Is it a place that you think is comfortable for you to study in? Because you're going to be in school, and unless you're studying at home, that's most likely where you're going to be. So you want to definitely investigate those things. So now I'm just going to transition and show you some ways, or tell you about some ways, rather, that you can find out this information. So one of the big ways, obviously, is going to open houses, listening in on different panels, and things like that. While that is great, I would also say it would be good to get some of your own information one-on-one, because sometimes the things that people will tell you one-on-one, they may not say to you when they're representing a school, representing a job, representing a program, because who wants to paint the place that they're in a negative light, especially in a public arena. So I would definitely say, if you try social media, I'm not saying stalk anybody.
Why you so obsessed with me?
But if you see, if you search maybe on Instagram, like the hashtag of the school that you want to go to, like hashtag Harvard or whatever, and you might see some posts of people who like put the hashtag there and they go there, maybe sending them a DM and asking, say, hey, I am a student who is interested in this program, and I just wanted to know if you would be willing to answer a few questions about your experience thus far. And leave it at that. Don't like bombard them with a whole list of questions or anything like that. Send a short, sweet message and leave it at that. If they respond, great, ask your questions. And don't ask questions that you can Google the answer to. Don't waste people's time like that. Like, don't ask questions that you could look at someone's website, look at the school's website and answer that question. Like, ask actual questions. So be prepared with what you want to ask. If they don't answer you, fine, leave it alone. Don't send them 2 and 3 messages. Just leave it alone. If they answer you, great. The other way is when you're interviewing or if you're applying, what you can do is reach out to admissions and ask if there are any students who are willing to speak with you about the experience. Like, say that you're interested in knowing about some of the student life at the program at the school, and you just want to get more information on that. If there are any students that they can get you in contact with. And then I would say if they get you in contact with students, great. Once again, I would say it would be nice if you could set up a call with that person so that you can like hear their tone of voice. And once again, like, emailing is great, but there are certain things that people are not going to write in an email. But if you're talking to them, they may, just tell you a little bit more things. And then also you could even ask that person that you reached out to, like, hey, I'm interested in this specific specialty or this specific thing. Do you have any classmates or colleagues that you think would be useful for me to talk to? I hope that this was helpful. I know that I wish someone had told me this stuff when I was going through the application process, because this stuff I was not even worried about. I went into every interview, every tour, wow, this is amazing. Not really understanding or realizing what would be important to me at that time. So I just wanted to help someone else out. Please let me know in the comments if this was helpful, if you want more videos like this. And until the next video, enjoy your daily dose of melanin. And if you don't want to leave yet, that's okay. There's 2 other videos right about here. They was probably here already. But just definitely click on them and keep showing love. Bye guys.